Hey guys, it's Tracy, and I'm gonna try to get this video done before Scott gets home from work. I hope everybody had a awesome July 4th. It's a little hard with it being, in the middle of the week. We both had to go back to work today, but that's okay. I'm sitting in the middle of my bed, just, because that's where I got. Anyway, um, wanted to chit chat a little bit about summer and what's going on and some new products I got recently. Um, and some were planned and one was a surprise. Of course, my husband's always surprising me and spoiling me. I know. Anyway, summer, it's already July. Can you believe that the year is already half over, 2019? It's crazy. But we are going on a cruise in about 30, I think 32 days. We fly to Seattle and we're going to go on a cruise to Alaska. This has been on a list of wanting to do for a long time. And it started out when we went on our cruise last summer with our friends from Conroe, the Bowers. Scott and I thought, well, we we knew we couldn't go on the cruise that the Bowers just went on, even though they wanted us to go with them, because it was too long. We couldn't take two more, like 14 days in a row, 14 days off. But we went into where you can book your next cruise when you're on the ship, and they give you a little bit of discount and all that stuff for doing it right then. So we decided to go ahead because like I said, we've been wanting to go to Alaska sometime. One of those places on the list. So why not go ahead and take care of one of the places we wanted to go that was on the list? So we booked this Alaskan cruise. And my mom went a couple of years ago, and she really enjoyed it. And my in-laws went about 4 or 5 years ago on a longer time. They had they were on the ship for like a week, and then they were on land. I think rented an RV while they were on the land. I don't even remember how long they were there. And they really, really loved it. And Scott has somebody he knows from high school that lives up, I believe, in Juneau, and is always posting these beautiful pictures and stuff on Facebook. So anyway, we talked about it and we decided to go ahead and book this because this particular cruise leaves. We will actually be on the cruise on our anniversary, which will be 14 years that we'll be married. So that'll be fun. We'll celebrate our anniversary on the cruise. Some of you I know may be saying something, didn't you just do an anniversary? Because if you've paid attention to our Facebook, we celebrate really in August, but we like to note that we got married in private in August in 2005 with just witnesses and preacher at a church I used to attend. And then 9 months later, because we didn't want to wait and all that stuff, and so then 9 months later, when family could attend, which many of you know, we have family out of state, Arizona, Colorado. Anyway, so we decided to have a wedding 9 months later when family could attend. Because Scott had never really had a real wedding, and I wanted to have that for him and everything. So we had a wedding in May later. So sometimes, Scott will post pictures and stuff and share stuff from when we had our church wedding, our family, as we call it, as I call it, the family wedding. And then, we celebrate how many years and everything on our real wedding, which is in August. So 14 years this August, 14 years on the 11th of August. So we will be on the cruise ship in Alaska on our 14th anniversary. So that's going to be really cool. and really looking forward to this trip. And so we started planning this trip and talking to friends. And I'm sorry, I think the lighting keeps changing because the sun, is in and out of clouds outside, and I've got the blinds halfway open. Anyway, so um, we started talking to our friends, the Bowers, about the trip, and that we went ahead and booked that one because we couldn't go overseas on their long trip that they were going to Amsterdam and all those places. So, well, then we started talking and everything, and so they just we worked it out, and so they're going with us. They booked the same cruise. And then at my birthday party last year, when friends and family came, well, then we got my mom to book because she was like, "Oh, I'd love to go again." And my friend Shelly, that from high school, that now lives in Tennessee, she's going. Her husband was going, but he got a new job, so but her son's going with her. And then my sister-in-law, Scott's sister, Shayla, she's married to Jamie, and Jamie is originally from Seattle. So we'll have kind of a tour guide with us because they're going to go. And so it's going to be so much fun because we have like 12 of us going. My mom's got a friend going with her. So there's like 12 of us, and then Aaron, the Bauer's son's going with us, and his girlfriend that we travel with often. And so it's going to be so much fun because there's going to be 12 of us going. This weekend, we actually plan to sit down and decide on a couple excursions. And I'm just really looking forward to this trip and taking this vacation before the really, really, really busy time at work for me because late August, September, and October, well, pretty much the whole fall, the whole second half of the year is a really, really busy time for me at work. So, really looking forward to that. And with that being Alaska, um, that kind of goes into one of my recent purchases. Actually, Scott wanted to buy me a windbreaker. To have some kind of lightweight but wind resistant type of jacket. Well, it just so happens that my favorite, Jeffree Star, was coming out with his summer collection just a couple of weeks ago. I guess is when he released his summer collection. And he does have an apparel section of his products. And I do have one of his t-shirts. And he does have some tracksuits, and he does have coats and some jackets. Well, one of the new items for his summer collection was this windbreaker in this cool minty lime type green and white. So let me pull that. If I know with the camera, I'm not going to be able to show it very much, but this is my Jeffree Star windbreaker that I've got here. So, here's the hood. Anyway, so it's my windbreaker. Here's on the, his logo. And so then it's got, half green and then half white, and then it goes green again. And oops, so the white part, I don't know if you can hardly see it. The logo is embossed on the white part. And then this is embroidered on the breast pocket side, and then, so is that not the coolest colors and everything? So I got a windbreaker for our trip to Alaska. So with Jeffree doing his summer collection, true, he came out with, of course, new eyeshadow palettes, and I was like, I really don't need any more eyeshadow. But he came out with 2 eyeshadow palettes for the summer, which one was, and he called this the Jawbreaker collection. He loves candy and everything, and so it was all kind of bright, neon-y type colors, so he called it the Jawbreaker collection. And, I really didn't need any more eyeshadows, so I told Scott, so if you're going to order me the windbreaker, I said at least I'd like and I thought there was a certain dollar limit on Jeffrey's website. You could get free shipping. I don't know if he changed it recently or what, but it's higher than what I thought. Because told Scott, I said, well, I want two particular new liquid lipsticks that he has in the summer collection. I'll get those off of Beautylish. You buy me what you want to buy me off of Jeffrey's website, um, and surprise me, and get the windbreaker, because the windbreaker is not probably going to be available on Beautylish. Beautylish doesn't carry all of Jeffrey's, when it comes to his apparel and extra stuff. They mainly carry just mostly the makeup. So, Scott got me the windbreaker and two lip scrubs, which I wanted. I have one, so now I have enough lip scrub probably to last me a long while, because I don't do it as much as I probably should. But anyway, I just love the lime green, bright, neon-y colors of the packaging for this summer collection. And then the other one I got is one of his other. It's in his normal collection. This is not an extra summer, specifically for summer. So I got one of his regular. This one is cherry soda, and then this one is pineapple juice. Yeah, so that's going to be cool. These are all, vegan, cruelty free, and everything. These are actually edible, because if you know anything about lip scrubs, it's basically a sugar based product, and you just scrub it on your lips, and it exfoliates. But if you were to actually accidentally or on purpose, look at that cat. Look at that cat up there on top of my bed. Quinn, what are you doing up there? I found that there was a fly caught in our house, and so he's probably been chasing the fly that's probably still in here from yesterday when we were going in and out cooking outside. I hate flies. Anyway, so I got two lip scrubs. Now I went on Beautylish specifically to get two new liquid lip shades that came out in the. I'm trying to get this lid back on this lip scrub that came out with the summer collection. And so I've posted a couple of pictures, I think. I've got one on right now. This one is called Bronze Blood. Ooh. Anyway, that would be this one, if you can see it. Once again, we've got the lime green caps for the liquid lips in the summer collection. Fun, fun, fun. And the other one I have is called Totally Nude. Well, if you can see that, it's kind of a corally, peachy coral nude color. And then the Bronze Blood is this gold shimmery type color. Really like both of these very much. And especially the nude one. I have his, like, I believe if y'all remember, if you saw my other video and stuff, his lip glosses came out, 6 weeks ago or whatever. And I've got this one, lip gloss in Wet Peach. If you wanted to, like I said, his liquid lips are matte, dry matte. But if you wanted to up this one, this Wet Peach looks wonderful over this Totally Nude liquid lip. So I really like that combo. And then I had to kill some time the other day in between doctor's visits, and doing some doctor visits to just kind of evaluate where some things are. 50 years old. More than halfway into my 50th year. And I have had a long history myself of high cholesterol. I have high blood pressure. I take medication for both, and have the cholesterol. I've only taken medicine for going on 3 years now, I think. And but the blood pressure medicine I've taken, I don't even remember when I started. And so it's been an ongoing thing. As you know, my weight goes up and down. I battle with that a little bit. and with the family history too. Um, and then those of you that went to high school with me know we lost a friend of ours earlier this year. Um, I don't know. I don't know if it was ever released, and it's none of my business of the exact cause of her death. But when someone dies unexpectedly, basically, it's fine 1 minute and then gone. Uh, Heart issues, immediately come to mind. So I'm in the process of, I have found a cardiologist, got a referral, and I've been doing testing, different tests over the last 10 days that the doctor wanted me to do to get a baseline of where I'm at. Just some preventative health because of the health risks, the history I have and in my family. So I just finished tests this week. I have a follow up with her in about 10 days. We'll see where all the tests, come out to. She has already changed my cholesterol medicine to a different kind. A few weeks ago, my blood pressure medicine was increased just by 10 milligrams to 10 to 20. So, and it's been doing pretty good since then. So, there's just, you got to take care of yourself. And there's other things I've still yet to do. You hit my age mark, and there's just things you really need to think about doing to take care of yourself. So I'm trying. So in between doctor's visits, because I had 2 different test visits this past Wednesday, I found myself in Sephora at JCPenney over in Alliance. Anyway, and so I still had a little bit of money on a gift card I had, and I was running out of setting spray. So if any of you know anything about, I'm going to try the Too Faced. This is the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 replenishing primer and setting spray. So I'm going to give that a try. And a lady I've been watching lately on YouTube, because she's 47, she's closer to my age. She has oily skin problems just like I do. And so a lot of her reviews, I can relate to, because we have a similar age, skin issues, and that sort of thing. And she really loves this Peach Perfect setting powder. Now I got the small size to give it a try because it is kind of expensive. So is this also, oh gosh, this is by Tarte, isn't it? Not Too Faced. I'm trying to, oh Lord. Now this is also Too Faced. Sorry. I get my brands mixed up. This is also by Too Faced. It's right there on the leaf. And the Peach Perfect Translucent Setting Powder. So I'm going to give that a try. Also. So then, lo and behold. Now, I forgot, I didn't finish my story. Jeffree released 2 eyeshadow palettes with his summer collection this year. One of them was the largest palette that he's ever made. It has 24 shades, and it's called the Jawbreaker palette. But he also released a companion palette because he said, which I have seen, lots of people were talking to him, asking him if he was ever going to release any of his shades in singles or in, different color stories, smaller palettes. And he released a companion palette to his Jawbreaker called the Mini Breaker palette. And it had 9 shades. Well, Scott surprised me, and I got the Mini Breaker palette. And that's what I have on my eyes today. Now, again, this video, like most of my videos, is after I've been at work all day long. So I touched up my makeup a little bit, but this is pretty much my makeup except for redoing the lips, and I redid just a touch, just a barely on the eyeshadow. But this is all day makeup basically, and I put some powder on. But this is the mini palette. Aren't those colors so pretty? And you can tell, yes, I've touched it, I've used it, played with it a couple of times. But, and it's in this fun little packaging, the Jawbreaker, candy. Some Jawbreakers are solid colors, if you remember if they, I'm sure they still make them. Some were speckled colors, so it's a really pretty, cute little palette. I do like the fact that most of his, it's made of a hard cardboard. It's not plastic. It will eventually disintegrate. Some people, all this plastic material and stuff. We need to try to do better. It's got a cute little mirror with it. But anyway, so I can't wait to try more on the orangey color and stuff, and to see in those golds and see how that comes out. And it's got this really cool little brown. So I'm really curious about kind of doing, kind of like a sunsetty type color with the browns and the yellow golds there and that orange, and seeing what that looks like. Maybe I'll have a chance to play like that this weekend or something. I've also kind of gotten into some crafting and stuff. I'm in the middle of painting our chairs. We got a new dining room table a couple months ago, farmhouse table. We kept the chairs from our old table, and so I'm starting to paint those with the white chalk paint to get those to match the table. So I'm in the middle of that, and a couple of other. I get crafty sometimes. I kind of go through spells. Been working on the flowers out front. I'm not really ready to show the the flower beds yet. We haven't. Hopefully this weekend the plan is to lay down the mulch. Because I haven't laid down the mulch yet, because surprisingly enough, we had a bunch of moss rose come back, which a lot of people say, well, moss rose doesn't come back, but I had a lot of moss rose come back this year. And the moss rose I planted this year is doing really well. But I didn't want to cover up and stifle anything that was coming back. And we had so much rain this spring that some of the mulch probably would just been washed away into the yard. So we waited to put down the mulch. We've trimmed the bushes yesterday. So we're going to be putting down the mulch this weekend. And so after that's done, then I'll be ready to show off the flower beds as they look the first part of summer. And of course, then I'll be showing them off again towards the end of summer, once they really get full and blooming. I am having a little bit of issues with my lantanas. They're supposed to, come back every year and, be drought resistant and heat resistant. But I don't know. I really think a lot of the troubles I've had is because of all the rain we've had this spring. I've lost several plants, had to replace plants and start again on certain areas of the flower bed, certain pots, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done. Except for maybe one pot, if certain things don't make it, because it's the big pot, in my chair, if you saw last year, which I'll show you. Anyways, but I want that to be colorful and everything. So if things don't work in that, I will replace those. But anything in the flower beds and stuff, if it doesn't make it now, I don't know, because I'm done trying to keep replacing stuff. The marigolds didn't do very well this year. I didn't have last year I had marigolds come back from the year before, from the previous owner of the house, but this year we didn't have, I don't think, one marigold come back. And the ones we've planted, very few have made it. Again, I think the rain that we've had, hard downpours, lots of rain. I don't know. Some of the plants, I think, just flat out drowned. Anyway, so I guess this is a long enough video. Try not to be too long. But everything's going well. The grandbabies are growing, and Peyton's starting to walk, and it's just so much fun. And Camden, oh my gosh, he doesn't look like a baby anymore. So if you watch my Facebook and stuff, you see pictures of the grandkids, and it's just so good. But yeah, I think we are going to go out to dinner with friends tonight, maybe, and then this weekend. My plan is to concentrate on doing stuff around the house, with, um, putting, one. I want to get suitcase cases out and put them in the spare room, and start, planning on our packing for our trip. We got to get the mulch out and the flower beds and just a few other things that I would like to get done around here if possible. Anyway, so, um, so if you have any comments about any of the products I showed, if you have an opinion about, if you've used the Hangover Primer Refreshing Spray, or if you've used the Peach, um, Perfect Powder, or anything, or if you have any questions about any of my Jeffree products, I love his products. They're good. I mean, and they're not as expensive as high-end products. Now, true, they're not as cheap as some of the drugstore products, but they're in between. No, they're affordable, and I have pretty much gone back. I'm going back a little bit more to using the L'Oreal Pro Matte foundation. I'm wearing that a little bit more often again, so it's hard with my skin, my oily skin, to find a good foundation or a combination of products. So anyway, but yeah, I think that's about it, and I really appreciate you watching me on my channel, A Dose of Me, or on Facebook. So I hope y'all have a really great weekend. And that's A Dose of Me.